We saw them in Alberta earlier, and as we take a zoomed in look right here, you can see through Kindersley, definitely seeing some heavy downpours. There could be some nickel-sized, dime-sized hail potentially. Elbow, swift currents saw those passing showers and thunderstorms, but Val Marie, we're definitely keeping our eye on this region. So if you're in the area, definitely might want to get inside. So I'll show you the warning. Looks like it disappeared, but it's in Val Marie. And as we look at Ontario, the story this week has been 2 tornadoes that were confirmed back on Tuesday. New Tecumseth was included, as well as Laurel, both an EF1 rating. They're also right now with a lot of rain, the potential for flooding in the Greater Toronto region. Coming up, let's take a better look at the radar in southern Ontario to show you what's going on. Greater Toronto region seeing some passing showers. Even up near Barrie, we're getting some wet weather. We had a lot of instability in the atmosphere today, and there is still a special weather statement in place for the city of Toronto for the potential of seeing upwards of 30 to 50 millimeters of rain. And we've probably seen that in some parts with the rain coming down very fast. People are reporting flooding on the roads, and there also, for the Greater Toronto region, is a flood watch, which means high flows, water levels rising very quickly, so do be careful out there. As we look at this image, we our next sort of thing to talk about for you in the east. We've got rain plus wind that really shifts into the region by Friday. Northerly winds for PEI. We probably will see some wind warnings popping up with this, and then it will shift into Newfoundland, so just be wary of that. There is a rainfall warning in place for Fredericton, St. John, as well as Sussex, likely seeing 60 millimeters on the high end. Halifax, you'll see about 15 to 30 millimeters of rain. Well, we're certainly in the season for it. In southern Ontario right now, we still have a special weather statement in place for the city of Toronto, 50 millimeters potentially in a very short period of time. So the Greater Toronto region is under a flood watch at this point. So high flows near rivers and streams, do be careful. What we are seeing as we zoom in is it is tapering off in the west end of the city of Toronto, but close to areas like Scarborough, 404, for example, still heavy downpours. This will last for the next half an hour or so, so do take care of that. Note that it is going to improve through the overnight. This week been pretty busy. Tuesday we had 2 confirmed tornadoes, making it now 6 for the province of Ontario this season. EF1 for Laurel and an EF1 for New Tecumseth. And this caused a lot of damage in the area, house and a stable. We had Mark Robinson looking at the damage path in the region. All right, so a lot of active weather to talk about this afternoon and evening. Certainly seeing the risk of those thunderstorms. The front we're seeing tonight in the Greater Toronto region, which has prompted the flood watch, is just really stalled out, isn't moving very quickly. And that's why areas like the DVP could be flooded. We're hearing reports on Twitter of people saying they're experiencing flooded roads. Some on-ramps through the Greater Toronto region have been closed because of the flooding. So not a good situation. Good news is it will end in the next half an hour or so. By Thursday morning, it is clearing out, making way for a lot more sunshine, but we will have a risk of thunder showers again in the Greater Toronto region for your Thursday. By Friday morning, clearing out, except in the northwest. That's our new area of concern as we head into the end of the week. For Toronto, Thursday, there's the risk of thunderstorms. Friday clears out. Saturday looks good. And rolling into the long weekend, some spotty showers for Tuesday. Coming up, top 5 hailstorms next. We're looking at active weather first in southern Ontario, and the radar returns showing some showers that have been passing through the Greater Toronto region. Toronto is still under a special weather statement for heavy rainfall, and this is just getting a lot of energy courtesy of the lake breeze. We've seen it tapering off in the east end of Toronto, but certainly the west end rather, but certainly the east end, think Scarborough along the 404. Still some heavy amounts of rain at this point, likely still seeing showers through the overnight, but the intensity will lessen up in the next little while. So it's going to take some time for this to lessen in intensity. And there right now is a flood watch in place for the Greater Toronto region. So do be careful out there. And we've have had a report for the Humber River of 2 people being rescued because of the flooding. Let's shift next to this image. Very nice conditions. All right, look forward to seeing that. Now, I do want to mention that for parts of southern Alberta and Saskatchewan, we're looking at the risk of thunderstorms. We have Snipe Lake included in a severe thunderstorm warning and Val Marie. Coming up, we're going to count down the top 5 devastating Canadian tornadoes.
This weather segment.
We'll start our active weather watch in southern Ontario, and the radar returns are still showing heavy bands of rain in the east end of the city of Toronto. So around Scarborough, as we shift to North York, still some rain along the 404, certainly a very wet drive, and we've had reports of flooding through areas of the Greater Toronto region. Along the 401, I've heard a report of a closed on-ramp because of the fact of all the rain in the area, and there has been also one report of 2 people who were rescued near the Humber River because of the wet weather. So be careful out there. There's also a flood watch in place for the Greater Toronto region. As we take a look at Saskatchewan, severe thunderstorm warnings are the story there. Val Marie is in a warning. You can see that cell shifting towards the region, and in the north, passed through Kindersley already, but we do have Snipe Lake, including Eston, included in that warning at this point. I'm actually getting a new update from our briefer right here, and the Snipe Lake warning has ended at this point. So that's certainly good news, but certainly still some heavy downpours in the vicinity. Coming up, top 5 devastating tornadoes.
For your quick.com.
Quite the images. Here's what's coming up next at the top of the hour. We'll start off our active weather watch in southern Ontario. I'm Nicole Karkic. Glad you could join us. Still seeing these showers across east end of Toronto, so around Scarborough. It's shifted out of North York, but notice the orange that's still popping up on the radar. That's an indication of the heavy rain, potentially 30 to 50 millimeters in a short period of time. So we've had reports of flooding in Toronto, some off ramps being closed on the 401 because of this, and there is a flood watch in place for the Greater Toronto region. So stay away from rivers and streams. We just have high flows tonight. We have had confirmed tornadoes this week, 2 of them on Tuesday, EF1 in Laurel, EF1 in New Tecumseh, and this makes it 6 confirmed tornadoes for the season in Ontario at this point. There's been that risk of thunderstorms. We've certainly seen it tonight through the overnight. Still some showers, but the intensity will lessen across Toronto. Tomorrow could see a thunderstorm again popping up in the afternoon, but by Friday, much clearer conditions. Coming up, we're going to count down maritime provinces. Rain in parts of Nova Scotia, New Brunswick for tonight. Newfoundland, it's been wet. St. John's, it's been a pretty wet day. And as we head into Thursday, we take a look at the winds because they will start to pick up as we head into Friday. We're going to see generally a northerly flow, PEI, parts of the shores of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick will see sustained winds between 20 to 30, maybe even 40 kilometers an hour. So just a heads up for Friday, could be quite windy. We might see some wind warnings pop up too as we head into tomorrow's forecast. This is the rainfall warning. Fredericton, St. John's, Sussex is included. That could be up to 60 millimeters of rain from today into Friday. But the good news is Friday will start to clear out a little bit for you. Halifax, 15 to 30 millimeters of rain from now through Friday, and St. John's in the 15 to 30 millimeter zone. So we've got 2 separate things happening here. We've got the low pressure center that's swirling around for parts of Newfoundland, and then it just extends into the maritime provinces, giving you that wet weather heading into Thursday. But look forward to Friday. Coming up, we'll talk about the long weekend forecast. All right, and speaking of that, our 2 tornadoes from yesterday, making it now 6 of the season for the province of Ontario. New Tecumseh EF1 rating, winds up to 135 to 175 kilometers an hour. And Laurel, this was just confirmed today, the path length there, 7 kilometers an hour. So lots of damage, power outages too. We're seeing storms tonight in southern Ontario. We'll Coronation, Oyen, and Hannah for this evening. Even a report of a funnel cloud near Oyen. Now, this is continuing to be the risk for storms tonight. Alberta extending into parts of southern Saskatchewan, Saskatoon, Val Marie, Assiniboia. Heavy downpours, hail potentially too, and some lightning strikes out there, so stay safe. Fort McMurray Thursday will be 23 degrees with showers. That's at least 10 millimeters of rain. Friday will be 27, clearing out 27 on Saturday too. And as we head into the weekend, which is going to be a long weekend for many, I imagine, Tuesday's Canada Day, just a little touch and go for Sunday and your Monday. As we look at this dotted line, that's the trough sparking the thunderstorms. Lloydminster extending into southern Saskatchewan for tonight. That will shift into Manitoba for Thursday. So that's going to be our threat for active weather Thursday afternoon. This comes through for you in Alberta Thursday. So Calgary, Red Deer, waking up to sunshine, but by the afternoon, expect to see a chance of showers, maybe even some thunderstorms. And then again, for your evening, extreme southern Saskatchewan will be in the risk for some wet weather heading into Friday. Friday. And that's going to be some steady, persistent rain showers. Calgary Thursday, 18 degrees. Friday we're 21, so pretty below average temperature-wise across these next couple of days. And your forecast for July 1st, Canada Day, is some showers up to 20 degrees. We saw showers today in Edmonton. You only reached a high of 17. And a little bit cloudy. Tomorrow is much better. Number one, we'll see the sunshine. Number two, we're getting up to about 25 degrees, so a different story. But this is the rainfall forecast through to Thursday. Anywhere in the highlighted green, we'll see the most, 10 to 20 millimeters. But note, if we see thunderstorms, those amounts could go up. All right, so don't let a little rain ruin your parade.